Welcome back. It's another wonderfully different video. Just as a reminder, all of these videos are guns that we've already covered, tabletop shooting impressions, and a print or web article, but I want to show you stuff that, well, it's not another same old. Today, the Walther CCP, a gun that I don't think got nearly as much attention as it deserves for being wonderfully different. While previous versions of the CCP have been out for a while, this is the 2.0, if you will. They are available in 380 and in 9. The 380 I find most enjoyable to shoot. What makes this guy cool is it's got a gas-delayed piston blowback operation, which really makes things smooth. Very similar to the HKP7, but at about a fifth of the cost if you want to pick one of these up. I'll show you what I mean. Stripping's pretty easy. You notice we do have a striker indicator, let you know when it's charged. I want to depress that, of course, after knowing it's cleared. Witness windows are on the right side of the mag. I think that's a little strange, but it does make sense. If you're holding the mag in your left hand while you load, you can see those windows. So with that depressed, push back on here, move that little lever, and come back and forward, and off we go. It's a lot simpler than the earlier versions were, and you see that we have a fixed barrel here like a blowback system, but there's a hole down below where this piston rides, and as the gas is pushing the bullet, some of the gas comes down into that chamber and pushes against this piston, which keeps the slide closed. Once the bullet has left the barrel, pressure drops, and that inertia from firing can cycle the gun. Pretty cool concept, and really tames what is already a soft shooting gun. It also means that the recoil spring does not need to be nearly as stubborn and stiff as you would experience on a direct blowback model. Get that on there all the way. This is one of those things where you do it a million times, you get confident with it, and then suddenly you can't do it purpose. But the spring, it does have some resistance, but it's not as heavy as it would be on a regular blowback. Let's put some shots through it and talk about how it feels on the range. So the Walther CCP, a little bit larger than a lot of single stacks, but that's not a bad thing. It makes it more comfortable to shoot. I do want to disclaim, due to operator error, we're using the 9mm CCP mags with 380, which makes the rounds awfully short in that magazine, but in playing around with it, it seems to work. Remember, 380 is 2mm shorter than 9mm just in the case, and then your projectile shorter too. We have an ABC zone, which is a reduced size torso, at about 20 yards. I'm going to try some ready up singles, and then maybe some doubles if I get bold, using the manual safety that is on the gun, just to get a feel for it. It is a small safety knob. That one was dead center. So as you can probably see from that, recoil is very negligible. Not only is it 380, but we also have that delayed action in the blowback, which makes it pretty soft. Let's take our chances on the doubles. The trigger on this is not your typical Walther PPQ P99 short crisp trigger. It's more of a defensive carry gun trigger. So running it quickly does take a little more skill. Oh, looks like we had a misfeed thanks to that wrong magazine. I'm gonna lock open. We just did a video on clearing this. Locking the slide open takes the pressure off the magazine, which makes it much easier to get the magazine out and let that round fall out. Got that reloaded, and let's try for another double. One hit, and you can see live round popping out of there. That's because, like I said, 9mm magazine, 380 ammo. Ammo's a bit small for this magazine, but it's still salvageable. And let's try for a quick, since we only got a single shot. Missed it. I was racing it. This tends to happen to me on guns that are this easy to shoot, or this pleasant to shoot, because it's just fun and you want to get to it and you kind of get sloppy. There's no regrets. Anyways, let's see what Tia thinks.
All right, so I'm going to give this a try. I feel like I've been set up a little bit with that 9mm mag and 380 ammo. I have the safety on and off, on.
And it looks like another feed issue from our wrong magazine.
Yeah, it just didn't go in all the way. Oh, I missed. But it was fun to shoot. So the CCP. I am certain that I have shot this before. I am certain that Graham probably had me looking at this when I was choosing my carry guns. I didn't know enough to understand what was wonderfully different about it. What I can tell you from what I'm seeing right here is this curve fits beautifully right there in my hand. And this is so controllable. The safety's easy to use. The slide drops easy for me. I don't have to struggle with it or tear part of my finger off to get it to drop. The mag releases. This is just an awesome fun gun, and I like this. So I wanted to know what made this so much more pleasant to shoot than a lot of guns that are similar in size to it. And of course, Graham has the answer.
So it's 380, which is softer shooting generally. The problem with a lot of 380s is they're direct blowback, and so you've got a lot of mass jerking around and a strong spring to try to hold that in place. Because of that piston delayed system, they don't need as heavy of a slide. It's a very lightweight slide, and not as heavy of a spring. So the slide weight and that reciprocating mass is less, and that piston gives just a little bit of delay before the recoil starts to happen, and it just makes for a softer shooting gun.
Is that also why I'm able to release the slide or use the slide release?
Yes. So, and this is something that, and if this were direct blowback, not only would you have to have a heavier slide, but you'd need a stronger spring. So because there's a softer spring in there, there's less pressure on the slide release when the gun is locked open. So you're not fighting as much force to close it. You might experience that on a lot of little tiny single stacks. They've got a really strong spring, and you have to beat that spring to release it if you want to use a slide release instead of the overhand rack system. Anyways, these are some of the things that I think, and we think, make the Walther CCP wonderfully different. Thanks for watching.